Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today we have an amazing up and coming rising star, a talent like no other. Hails from Texas. His name is Tyrone Betters. I'm pretty sure you've seen him all over your social media. He's doing his thing. Tyrone, thanks for joining. And how are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing amazing, bro. I done had a wonderful day off of my regular job. And just grinding, man. Grinding, making things shake. Just got signed to another agency. So we looking forward to some more auditions, some more opportunity to be seen, and then more than likely booking a lot of these projects. So I'm excited and I'm ready to expand, bro. That's what the mission is. 2024 expansion.
I was gonna say, man, 2024. Everybody's looking to grow. Everybody's looking to venture out and do new things. A lot of people have big plans in store, but
Absolutely.
you have to execute them. You
You
know what
have
I'm
to.
saying?
Execution is the key. That's what people don't realize. Like you could prepare. You can be in all the classes. You can go to all the workshops. But if you don't execute in the moment, then you'll miss it. So then it's just having a whole bunch of information, but no execution style as well. You know what I mean? So it's not enough just to prepare. You have to execute and at a high level.
Absolutely, man. And so, speaking of execution, what do you do to execute?
I prepare. Like my confidence comes from my preparation. You'll
Mhm.
hear that from athletes, you'll hear that from other actors, you'll hear that from dancers. The reason why they flow or move the way they do is because they're continuously putting the work in and put the time. Between this month and last month, I've been taking workshops. I'm in actively in acting classes as I am continuously booking roles, promoting movies that just launched or just distributed, and just putting that time and that work in. I'm continuously always working and developing in my craft through the ebbs and flows of actually moving forward. Meaning, if I audition and I don't get it, I'm going to keep auditioning. I'm going to keep going to class. I'm going to keep showing up and doing what's best for myself and my brand.
Absolutely, man. And you were definitely making a brand, a name for yourself. Everybody is recognizing your face, and you're staying in front of everybody's screens. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Especially on social media, but also on these streaming platforms. Man, let's talk a little bit about some of the films that you've been in recently. I know you've been in Perk 30, Everybody
Yes,
Hates Christmas, and
yes.
recently Guns Down. What other
Guns
films have
down.
you been a part of?
Okay, I had the pleasure of being a part of a film called No Better Love. So it actually was executive produced by a young lady by the name of Tressa Smallwood. She definitely is a big part of that movie. Don't get me wrong. We have Entice. Entice is definitely over all of that stuff as well. So I'm just excited just to be able to link with that team and those people that's doing it at a big level, especially Entice and especially Tressa. And then I also was a part of a movie called A True Christmas. A True Christmas. That's a production. JF Bailey. Shout out to JF Bailey. They're out here in Dallas, Texas, where I'm located, where I'm from. And we shot that last year as well, and was able to launch that as well. And then I have a few different projects, some short films that I've worked on that's streaming on YouTube right now. And actually, if you go to my social media at Tyrone Betters on IG, in my link tree, it's connected to all of my movies. So that way you don't have to go and search for it. You just go click on that and it goes straight to my movies.
I love it, man. I love the fact that you have everything that you can plug. You have everything ready in your arsenal. I don't really have to ask you. That's like it speaks to the point of what you said earlier is being prepared
Yeah,
and being ready and
thanks.
being in the moment when the opportunity comes for you.
Absolutely.
Um, Speaking of opportunities, what type of opportunities are there in Dallas, Texas? Can you speak on?
It's so many opportunities to do some great things. Now we are a big independent market. We're really a big commercial market, number three in the nation. So we do a lot of commercials. A lot of the times you do need to be signed or have an agent, but there's a lot of opportunities to self submit and do those things. And then on the independent circuit, we had T Stacks Productions. They just dropped heavier streaming on platforms. We just filmed a movie called Code that'll be coming out next year. We also have JF Bailey. They're consistently shooting. We have Snoop Robinson is a prominent guy that's out here. We have Tory Lee that's a prominent figure out here. We have Stillwater Productions and everything that they're doing. So it's so many production agencies, and they're continuously auditioning. They're always looking for people to do background as well. So there's so many different avenues to get connected on the independent side, right? When it comes to more on the SAG side, they're continuously shooting stuff. A lot of stuff is being shot in Austin. They're shooting a lot of stuff in a neighboring state of Oklahoma. So it's a lot of different things you can travel. But we're just in that Southwest region, of course. There's plenty of stuff to do. There's plenty of things to get out and do and be active. We have amazing classes that you can take as well. We have amazing instructors that's out here. We are a very prominent acting city, honestly. I guess the biggest thing is just making sure that you utilizing all the resources and tools, because what a person might do a class here, it might be $1,000 in LA just because it's LA, but here it might be $200.
Right.
But you have to be willing to
Right.
invest and put that time in to get it done.
Yeah. Um, so basically, you have opportunities within arm's reach of you, or
Absolutely,
within travel distance, and you can make things happen if you're
absolutely,
in the Dallas area. But not only that, just the surrounding cities too. Um,
absolutely.
and you mentioned that you've taken some acting classes and some workshops. What are some of the things that you worked on to sharpen your craft in those workshops?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing, and I know one of my weaknesses, is just making sure that my characters have depth. I know how to perform, I know how to get into the character, but a lot of times we want to make sure that we go deeper within our characters. Now, some of the movies that I'm in, it don't require me to do that, but you have to know
Right.
when it's
When to
time for
turn.
that. You want to start pushing yourself to do that, right? I always say you practice how you play. Right. So when you're on these independent sets, if you're not treating them like a SAG set, if you're not coming on set prepared, if you're not doing the things that it requires you to execute at a high level, then it's going to be hard for that to translate to the level that you're trying to get to. We know everybody's trying to get on Power. We know everybody's trying to get on Tyler Perry. We know everybody is trying to get on Carl Weber's projects. Everybody's trying to get on these projects, but they're not putting in the adequate work that it takes to get on these projects. And even myself, I know I'm not there yet, but I'm continuously working on it. And that's what makes the difference for somebody that excels when there's time to meet their moment, to a person that just wishing and hoping. And if it's there, I might be ready. Can't be ready on these sets because time is money. And if you're not doing your job, they're going to fire you and they're going to bring in somebody else that they can trust and depend on. So, what you do with your opportunity once you get it is all on you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that hunger, it's that drive, that passion, and even the willingness to learn and to
Mm,
learn on the fly and to adapt.
absolutely.
Yeah, to
Absolutely.
adapt to what it is that you need to adapt to, whether your role is comedic or it's dramatic. You know, how
Mm-hmm.
do how do you pull that off when if you only have one layer, you need to be
Facts.
multi-layered, multifaceted in that arena. uh,
Absolutely. And I
so
love when I'm able to go to classes and they change the way I think or they add to something, right? Because as actors, we are thinking, but we're being at the same time. So if you can change how a person reads a script, or you see the nuances in the script, or you doing your backstory on stuff, if you can change your thought process about the character, what the character is going through, finding those different details, and then adding that within the structure and the confines of I need to bring this character to life. That's where you'll be able to see the deeper and just bring a more authentic performance. And as well as a big thing that I learned is understanding the body of the character, right? So
right.
shout out to my instructor, Calvin. Um, he Cal directs on IG. He definitely is a big influence. The last month is just about creating the body of the character, right? A lot of times we'll start inside out, and majority of the actors that push through, they start outside in, creating the body, the shape of the character, and then bringing in everything else that's in there. So that's a couple of the major things that I've been working on and just practicing on when it comes to my performances.
And so you're saying that you practice on the outside in or the inside out?
Practicing on the outside in. So
Okay.
when I'm thinking about what this character looks like, what's his mannerisms? How does he move? Um, how does he talk? How does he speak? You know what I mean? Just thinking on those different things has allowed me to start thinking like, man, let me just try different things. So just being able to expand on your creative space.
So basically, the outside in is more so of the other person's perception of you, and so
Absolutely.
you're being
Absolutely.
mindful of all of the characteristics that I would view you as.
Exactly, because if you see me as Jason Perkins in Perk 30, or you see me as Stony in Everybody Hates Christmas, I don't want you to see the same style of characters. So I'm
Right.
going to change the body. I'm not going to have the same hairstyle. I'm not going to have the same uh, um, nuances and how I respond to things or different things. So creating those different characters, meaning a full character, right? Because sometimes when you book social celebrities or different things, you're booking them to be themselves, right?
Right.
Until they get to that moment where, you know what, I want to do the work that it takes to create a whole different character, right? That's where you start seeing the successful people that have longevity is because they're going to their acting classes, they're able to do the different things that's required of them, and so now they're just not a face or a talent or a name; they're actually a actor that's doing it at a high level.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what are some of the things that you do to stay relevant and keep your name and face out there in between projects?
Man, you already know what time it is with me, man. I stain these people's faces. So,
Yeah.
social media is a tool. What people have to realize, and a lot of actors and performers and people in the space, they are introverts. They're introverts. They don't like being on social media. They don't like this, that, and the third. But you have to put yourself out there, right? Because at least somebody is watching, somebody is seeing. Don't get me wrong. You'll see actors and actresses that don't post on their social media. Well, their name is so big and their brand is so their bandwidth is so big, they don't have to, right? They
Right.
should, maybe, but they don't have to. When you're coming from the space of an independent actor, which I am, I am SAG eligible, but majority of the stuff I do is non-union. You have to
Right.
put yourself out there. You have to allow your work to be seen. If you go to my page, you'll see acting. You'll see me working out in my stories. You'll see me being interactive when I go on live. But you're going to see the work, right? I don't do a movie to not promote it. That's just me personally. I'm going to promote my movies, whether the movie is going to promote their movie, whether they're going to push me or push my brand. I'm going to push my brand because I understand that the eyeballs are on me. Within the
Right.
last 3 or 4 months alone, I've garnered relationships from people in the DC area,
Yeah.
DMV area, Atlanta area, LA market, New York market, and they're continuously watching the things we're doing right here in Dallas, right? So I'm utilizing the space, and then I'm using a lot of my platform to show people what's going on, right? We been promoting. We did our own premiere for Perk 30. I'm not the producer of the movie, but I was like, you know what? I want to bring it here to Dallas. The producer, everybody got on board. They was like, hey, whatever you need from us, we got it. They sent up the movie. They sent up the posters. They came. They supported, and we booked that thing on out from the active perspective of putting that together, right? I have a toy drive that we're doing right now. It's a virtual toy drive, and then the event is going to be on Saturday. It's another give back. So the premiere was free. This is another give back where people can come, network, bring in a toy, and just have a good time and bringing in the space. Little things like that is what allows you to continuously do the work in between jobs, right? We're not going to book everything every day. We're not going to be gone every day of the second. So if I'm not working, I'm going to work on my craft. I'm going to post on my page. I usually post 2 to 3 times a day. It's okay. Some days I don't post. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But the work is continuously there. And I'm continuously being active. That doesn't mean that I'm everywhere and I'm accessible to everything, because I'm really not. But the work that I've garnered, I'm going to show it off. I've done plenty of commercials. I've done movies and projects. I've done SAG work. I've done so many different things that I want people to see a complete artist. So not only am I performing when it comes to being in front of the screen, I'm performing when it comes to do the legwork of promotion. Only
Right.
thing now we got to change is the money that's coming in. But once that comes in, now we can really do it at a grand scale, right? I'm
Absolutely.
going to get myself a billboard. I'm going to put myself in people's phones and they see me in their apps. I'm going to do that because I'm freshly going to be in their minds. Because if people see it, then cast directors see it, then writers see it, then producer see, executive producer see, oh, we need to use him for our movie. Oh, he's a fresh face and he's up and coming. Let's use him instead of going with a regular name that we could go with. It's going to do well with that, but what if we break somebody? You know what I'm saying? You just never know what those opportunities may hold. So you always want to make sure that you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And it's about creating habits. Right now, we're doing an interview, but I've did maybe 6 interviews this month.
A bunch, yeah.
But the reason I do that is because right here, these interactions, these conversations are important because we want to know, who are these actors? Who are these people? What about them makes them great? Why do they want to continuously on this path? What have they done? Or if you haven't done anything to the standard that you would like to do, what are you working on? How are you working on your skill set? Like, all of those different things are dope. And then not that, what's your family dynamic? What do you think of? Are you thought provoking? Like, when you get people attention, and my mom said this all the time: when you get people attention, you got to show them something. You got to tell them something. You got to teach them something. Something they got to take away and not just see you as a talent, but see you as, oh, I support this brother because he's sharp. I support this brother because he know what he's talking about. I support this brother because he has a strong head on his shoulders. Yeah, he's talented, but you got to have more than talent to be successful in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to have business sense. You have to be 10 steps ahead of just knowing your lines. You have to
Absolutely.
know your surroundings. You got to know, what the other actors' lines are. You have to know
Absolutely.
where to position yourself. You have to know what the
Your
director
lighting,
wants from you, the
you have to know
lighting.
your angles. What
Yeah,
shot? It's a two shot. Are we shooting a wide shot? Are we doing over the shoulder? I know all
right,
that stuff. You got to be on top of it to the point where you know what the director needs before they even ask you, right? A lot of times, a shout out to Elmore Vision, Joseph Elmore. That's the one that we shot 3 movies that dreamt, and then we shot another one that's coming out next year. And then we probably got 2 more slated that he gonna bring me in.
man.
When you have a relationship and a dynamic like that, whether it's a big role or a small role, you just connected. And most actors know what I'm talking about. When you are in sync with the director to the point where it's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here, or you might ask a question, oh, okay, bet, then I'm gonna do it like this. You know what I mean? And it comes from, one, knowing your lines, two, understanding what's going on in the scene, and three, understanding how to execute it. Because sometimes we might have got it in the first take, but let's play with it, right?
Right.
It's hard for you to play if you don't know your lines. It's hard for you to play if you didn't come prepared to play. It's
Yeah.
hard for you to deviate in your performances when you haven't done the necessary work prior to being on set, right? All of that counts. All of that counts. And you get that work on these independent sides because it's accessible to you. Even if y'all start to do a short film, if you have a friend that's a writer, just write something up. If you have a friend that has a camera, let's just shoot something. Let's just see what it looks like. Just play. And that's how
Right.
you continuously build up your talent. That's how you continuously do that because you have to work it. You have to work the muscle.
You definitely have to work the muscle, man. And I like the fact that you provided many different ways to do things that most actors might not even think of. Even when you mention the toy drive, the fact of the matter is that you're getting involved with the community, you're
Hmm.
giving back, and you're also utilizing it as an opportunity to show your face, let people know who you are, what it is that you do, and you know it's just another way of marketing yourself.
That's it. And of course we're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not solely just about me. It's about Women Can Too, an organization that's out here. Shout out to Kendra King. She's another writer, director, producer that's in the city that's doing amazing things. Um and they needed they wanted to they was we came up and we was thinking, how could we benefit somebody, and Women Can Too was perfect. Um and doing it for a right cause. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's about the community. It's about giving back. And then it's also being it's so much many things that are bigger than yourself. A lot of times, actors, we self centered. We have to be worried about focusing on the tool, the vessel, and all those other things. Being prepared for our moments and stuff. But sometimes we have to step outside of ourselves and get a grand scope of what's going on in the world.
Absolutely. And not only that, it's also training. When you're interacting with your community and the people around you, it's also giving you training on what it's going to be like when you are actually entering into the industry, and you're
Absolutely.
dealing with a little bit of fame and people asking you questions and people coming
Mm-hmm.
up to you expecting pictures and expecting
Mm-hmm.
hugs, handshakes.
That's
um
it.
yeah, it's kind of like on the fly media training.
That's it. And that's what I tell people. I've spoke to one of my friend brothers. He's also in the industry, and one of the things he was saying, man, I don't really do interviews like that. This and that. I say, why not? Well, I'm just not that type. I'm like, okay, so let's say you book this big production. You're the main star. You're the lead, right?
Hmm.
Productions wraps. Now there are times where they'll bring people on set and they'll do an interview. So you got to do interviews there on set.
Hmm.
Get out of your character mode, speak on it, and then get back to filming. But after that, you got to go promote the movie. What do you
Right.
think is going to happen when you promote the movie? They're going to fly you to London. They're going to put you up in a hotel. They're going to rent out the ballroom, right?
Yep.
You have to get up 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. Go downstairs. You're in the ballroom all day doing media
All
stuff.
day. Yeah.
What are you going to do, and how are you going to attack it if you never even practiced it on the come up,
Right.
right? A lot of times it's a shock and people don't know what to do because they're not exposing themselves to it from the jump, right?
Hmm.
You have to think like you're already there. Kobe,
Yeah.
he practices. I say this all the time. Kobe practiced the same shot for hours, drenched
Hours.
in
Yeah.
sweat. He said if the trainer is not elbowing him or pushing him, they make them do it. He do the thing over again. You
Right.
practice how you play. You have to get game time reps. So I don't care if the outlet that is interviewing you only has 2 viewers. I don't care if they have 200 viewers. You're speaking to the person that's interviewing you, and you're giving your authentic self because
Right.
people love and miss authenticity, right? That's a lot of stuff that's on social media that surface, right? You ever just listen to somebody giving advice and it's like, I mean, it's good advice, but it's surface. There's no meat on it. There's nothing deep about it. It's if you work hard, you'll eventually get there.
And that's it.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. There's nothing else with it. Nah, when you go on these platforms, this is your opportunity to show the people who you are, what you're
Hmm.
about, right? And you got to be authentic because they're gonna see past that fake stuff all day.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it's getting those game times rest when you're on set, taking it to your full advantage and bringing your best character, whether people like your performance or not. Understanding what you try to bring to it, because people gonna like it, people not gonna like it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But you know that you was true to yourself when it came to doing that, and that's why you stay in classes because you could look at your performance. Oh, I could have did this. All right, let me go back in class. I need to work on this, and then let's work on it in transition because this is a never ending thing. Even the top actors in the game have acting coaches. They
Yes.
be on
Absolutely.
they're on set with them, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Dialect coach on set with them. I got the opportunity to do stand-in work on Bass Reeves for David Olioa, and it was an experience seeing how he got into his character. The young
Yeah.
lady Lauren got into her character. Everyone else was getting into their character, seeing their methods and how they doing. I'm just standing. But when you on those opportunities to be a stand-in, we on those opportunities to be a background. You're learning. You need to be looking at everything. What's going on? Oh, okay. So this is the camera. This is the off camera. Oh, this ABC camera. Okay, they bringing in. Oh, dang, this is a drone shot. Oh, they got this is your opportunity when you're in sets like that to learn and do those different things, seeing what they're looking for. So then when you go book a gig on your end, I'm gonna use the same tactics. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's all about game time reps in interviews, game time reps when you're in your performances, game time reps when you're in class, taking it seriously, coming prepared, understanding your lines, knowing what's going on, taking direction.
Hmm.
All of those are game time reps that is preparing you for what you're asking for. Because quite frankly, people see these. I'm gonna just be honest. People see the social media popular people that's getting these roles. And
Right.
don't get me wrong, I love the fact that they're getting roles. They were able to take a talent that they had and it opened other doors for them. You cannot hate on them for that. But what I
Right.
will say is, you know the difference when they're doing the work and when they're not doing the work.
Hmm.
I don't care how popular you are. I don't care how many followers you got. Eventually, you're going to get tired of being made fun of because your performance is weak. Eventually.
Yes.
Eventually, you gonna get tired of it. You like, you know what? I'm getting these opportunities. Maybe I need to take this serious. Maybe I need to get an acting coach. Maybe
Right.
I need to do the work.
Yeah.
And
Or maybe I want some accolades. Maybe I want, to get larger roles, and I'm not getting those larger roles because I'm not taking
exactly.
it as serious as I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we just want you to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you get tired of just wanting to be yourself. You're tired of them booking the character. You want them to take you seriously within your craft. Just maybe. You know what I mean? But some of us, we're not social media stars. I'm an actor. I'm an actor, and I just know how to promote myself. So I'm going to stick to my guns. I know what I do, and I'm going to stay true to how I bring myself to the craft, how I bring myself to these characters. And then when it's time to promote that bad boy, oh, you're gonna see posts all day. You're gonna see tags all day. You're gonna see me going and doing interviews talking about the movies. You're gonna see me shouting out the producers and the directors and the writers. You're gonna see me do all of those different things. And I
Yeah.
said Stillwater earlier. I meant Clearwater Productions.
Clearwater.
My
Okay.
bad. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, and I can attest to your work ethic. And one of the things that I was going to have you kind of walk through when you were talking about, um, uh, practicing and seeing yourself already there. And when you have an event and you have to speak to all of these people, what do you do? And the amount of practice that you need to do beforehand, just so that way you're prepared when the time comes. If you could, and I've seen this firsthand, in person, I've seen you do it. Can you tell me, or uh, describe what it is when you walk into a room full of people and nobody knows your name? Uh, they don't recognize you, but you have to let them know who you are, um, and let them know what it is that you do.
Um. Yeah. You know what's funny? You've been there. We was there when we met. So
Yeah.
when you walk into a room, your presence introduces you way before you even speak, right?
Right.
I walk into the room knowing I know what to do, knowing that I have everything I need to be successful. And I just have to talk to somebody. I just have to network. I have to get myself out there. So when I walk into a room, I walk in it like I own it. It's not anything of a cockiness. It's not anything of I think I'm better than anybody. It's I'm a very sure of me, and I'm very sure of what I can do. And I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to evolve on the spot, whatever is needed, right? Because at the end of the day, this is your opportunity to meet people. This is your opportunity to network. I got to network with you. I got to network with McKinnon Studios. I got to network. We're finally getting to meet Tressa Smallwood, getting to see the whole Mega Mind production, getting to interact with people at PG County Film Festival
Yeah.
and and leaving an impression so much that people are still watching what I have going on all the way out here in Dallas, Texas. And yes, we made that. I made that drive all the way to DC, but the
Yeah.
vision was plain and simple: make an impact. And you make an impact by one having that confidence within yourself and exuding that confidence, right? It's not enough just to walk in a room and hey, be timid. People can see that. You gotta know that you are who you say you are, right?
Right.
That's all about confidence. That's all about understanding that you are an impact and you do make an impact. And you know what comes with that? And I said it earlier, but doing the work. If you know you did the work, you can't second guess the work. Can't
Right.
second guess yourself in the work because you know the hours you put in, the hours of studying, the hours of failing, the hours of praying, the hours of crying, the hours of just needing one opportunity. The hour you understand everything that you put on the line for that. Some people that can quit this thing because I like it, but it's nothing for me. But me, this is my life. I started modeling. My background is in modeling. I started modeling when I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college. And I just knew this is what I wanted to do once I got into it. I was auditioning. I didn't even think about it, but I was auditioning. We was practicing all the time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And I made
Yeah.
that vow when I was 18. Graduate. Then once I graduate, I have a mentor and I get into acting. And then I sucked. I was terrible. But you're always terrible when you're starting something new. And you
Right.
can't let that deter you because you're not going to be there instantly. It's not an instantaneous thing. You evolve over time. Took my introductory courses, adult classes, and I started doing the work more. I'm booking. I'm getting on um workshops. I'm getting in workshops. I'm doing all of the stuff I know I need to do to get better.
Mm,
And I failed a lot. The first 7 years, I didn't make no money. Been in the
right.
game 15 years collectively. Been in the
Wow.
game 15 years collectively, and wasn't making no money the first seven. So what drives you? People ask, "What's your driving force?" It's the vision.
Yeah.
God gives us all a vision of what He has for us, right? And we have to be 10 toes down on it. Um, Around 2016, 2017, I fell under like a slick depression. I'm not even gonna say slick. I fell under depression. I was second guessing myself. Things were failing. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do in my acting career. I would book things here or there, but it got to a point where I probably got an audition every 6 months, maybe.
Mm,
But then again, I wasn't investing in my craft. I wasn't doing acting classes. I was just stuck. I felt real stuck. I got lost. I started feeling sorry for myself, and it was just a lot of things that wasn't going to plan, right? So I kind of got lost in it, and went through a thing. Moved up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I started finding myself again. I got signed to an agency that was in Oklahoma at the time. Um, and then I just started submitting. But by that time, I done got fat, stomach all the way out to here. And I was like, you know what? Let me start walking. And I start walking. Then after walking, I was like, you know what? Let me get a gym membership. And so the other day, it made 7 years I was at Planet Fitness. I've been at Planet Fitness. Um,
wow.
all right, so now once I'm lifting, I'm booking jobs. All right, I know I could do it in Tulsa, but let me go back to Texas and see what we can do. I created a lane for myself where I work a job, get in good with my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm booked for this job. I have to go out here, but I'll come back. I can work as long as you need me to. But you show up and be consistent at that job so you can be consistent on your main job. At this
Right.
point in time, acting wasn't number one. I felt like it was, but it really wasn't number one. But then sooner or later, I was just like, God, if this is what you have for me, I'm gonna jump 10 toes down in it, and I'm a believe. No, I
Mm,
have to work. I know I got to do everything, but anything that has anything to do with acting, I'm gonna do it. I did all the background work. I did everything I could get my hands on. I booked some great commercials. Um, and then over time, it just continuously grew to what 5 years later. It's a lot of people that know my name. It's a lot of people, and it's not enough though. It's not enough. I'm not satisfied because at
yeah.
the end of the day, there's opportunities I know. I want to work with Tyler Perry. I want to work with 50 Cent in Showtime. I want to work with all of everybody that everyone else want to work with. I want to work with them, and I
Yeah.
know I have what it takes to be successful. It's not even I don't second guess it because I know what to do. So all of this goes back into saying when you walk into these rooms, it's the presence. You don't have to talk too much when you know what you're doing and you walk in assurance. It was to the point where when you came into the acting portion of it, I didn't raise my hand. I didn't say anything. I was gonna raise my hand, but the guy came straight up to walked to me. Jared, is it Jared? Yeah, he walked straight up to me and gave me the script and pulled me
Oh, no,
up and
no,
come speak.
Mark McKinnon. Mark.
Mark, I'm sorry, Mark
Yeah.
McKinney. There you go. I'm sorry, Mark McKinney. He came up to me and gave me that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if he would have if it would have played out any other way, and I got to show myself. Right? It was
Absolutely.
quick, and we was right there, but you still moved the room. And then
Yeah.
everywhere else we went during that time, we worked the room. We talked to people. We introduced ourselves to people. We didn't wait for anybody to introduce themselves to us. We came up to people, right?
Right.
And we made that impact, right? Because at the end of the day, this is what it's about. If you want it, you gotta go get it. So if that
Yeah.
means driving 20 hours for an opportunity, then I gotta drive 20 hours for an opportunity. If that means driving back and forth from here in Atlanta, I'm gonna do that. Within
Mm,
these films with Perk 30, I have to drive back and forth from Houston every other week. So that means I'm going down there. I have to drive down here, do this, come back up here, work, drive back down there, um, film again, drive back up here. That's 4 hour drive back and forth. 3.5, 4 hour drive back and forth.
wow.
Can't be afraid. Can't be afraid to go get it. Can't be afraid to go get it. You gotta be a monster.
And how long was Perk 30? How long was
Part
filming?
30, I was on set for 3 weeks. So I was
Wow.
on set for 3 weeks, 2 days out the week. So I'll shoot film for 2 days, drive back up here to Dallas, and then the rest come back down, film for 2 days, drive back down, and so on and so forth. But
Man.
I've done maybe I don't know I've done 4 movies with the Elmore Vision. That's the production company that's
Right.
over it. And for Guns Down, we was in a castle that's in the middle of Bryan, Texas. Is it Bryan? Is right on the outside of Austin. So we had to film at a
Okay.
castle. We filmed in a mansion that was on the outskirts of Houston, and then the final one filmed on I think that was the south side of Houston.
Mm,
But I'm driving back and forth the whole time.
right.
Like,
Because that's
so
a testimony to how bad you want it.
you gotta
And
want
also
it. You
and
gotta want it.
also showing the production companies and the people involved how committed you are.
Absolutely. And not complaining about it. Like, we getting the job done. You're not gonna hear me complain about it. You booked me for a reason. And I'm gonna come to set, show up, prepared, and do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm gonna go home once we wrap. Because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, we book you to show up and do what we book you to do. Right? Now, the director or the production, they might, hey, let's tweak it this way. Hey, let's do it this way. But you won't even be able to make those changes if you don't even know what's on the page. If you
Right.
don't even know what's going on in the scene, what's going on in the world. All of that matters. All of that matters. And it's very important. And the great ones do it at a high level. And that's why they stay booked.
Yeah, absolutely. And then even when they're not booked, they're working, they're doing stage plays,
Yep.
uh, and like you said, they're going back to their coaches, they're
Yep.
practicing, they're sharpening their skills,
They're doing
and
interviews. They're writing books. They're
mhm,
opening themselves up, right? Because at the end of the day, it's more than one way to skin a cat. And at the
yeah,
end of the day, this is our livelihood. As you can see, what happened with the strike, it was a lot of people that lost a lot. You
yeah,
know, and I stand with them, and I understood how everything go. But me not being in the union, I understood what it was like. As a person that's striving to make their name known, you still have to make your name known. So we were still promoting work. We were still doing all the things that we had to do because
right,
I couldn't afford to stop nothing. I'm not even in the game. I'm not
yeah,
even in the game. I don't have any skin in the game.
yeah, and being that you're working independently and you see how hard it is, it's just as hard, on the industry side of things.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that once you make it on, you get a spot on this show or this show. It doesn't
Mm-mm.
necessarily mean that you made it. And
You
the
got to
end of
book the room. That's what
you'll
people
work
don't realize.
even harder once you get on.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
What people don't realize when it comes to these auditions, I hear actors all the time. So, what kind of jobs is your agent getting you? I mean, they give me good auditions. I got to
right,
book the job. The
right,
audition is them submitting you, them doing their part, them pitching you. You know what I mean? They're doing more than just submitting, but they're pitching you. They're pushing you up to be used or to be picked. But you got
right.
to go do. You got to book that thing with
Yeah,
your work. With you doing the backstories and all of those different things, and then bringing that performance to life. And then
hmm,
hopefully maybe they might pick you. But even getting the audition, that's a victory. Getting a call back, that's a victory. Getting the first right of first refusal, that's a victory. You know what I'm saying? It's victories in so many things. And then if you let go or release, you know what I mean? Of course, it doesn't feel good, this and third, but guess what? You got to get right back on that horse. You got to go right back to the next thing, right? The one thing that a lot of us say is submit, forget. We do the work, we submit it. I ain't even gonna think about it no more. I did
yeah,
my job. My job was doing the audition. Everything else, that's
right.
icing. When if the opportunity comes for and they call me, that what happened to me, right? Even to this day, I booked when I booked my SAG feature. Um, I didn't even think about the audition. I just did it. Like I kind of I ran, knew what I wanted to do, sat down, did the audition. I submitted it. Man, I forgot about it. This was the bottom of 2020, during COVID. And then out of the blue, my agent was like, "Hey, you booked this?" I said, "Nah, what are you talking about?" And they sent it to me. I seen the email, and it said, what did it say? It's oh man, ooh, not DreamWorks. It was a big production company. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I booked it. I drove up to Oklahoma. We shot it. Film still haven't been put out.
Wow. So
So
that's something that's coming.
we shot it in 2020, and the film still haven't came out. I don't know if they're gonna keep my. I don't know if they're gonna keep my scene. I don't know any of that, right? I knew for a fact that if I'm in this scene with Zachary Levi, we're going back and forth.
Mm,
I knew right then and there I'm supposed to be here. I wasn't
right.
nervous. I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew my words. I knew my lines, and we got to play with it.
Yeah.
I knew I was supposed to be here. My second feature that I booked with Candace Cameron, it was called A Christmas Present on GAC Network. Uh, so I came in knowing I probably was gonna have like a line. I know I had a line, so I came prepared. So when I got on set, they was like, "Hey, we added a few more lines." I said, stop playing." Okay, bet whatever we gotta do, we can just do it.
Yeah.
We do the scene, shoot the scene. I loved it. The energy was amazing. Everybody's energy was amazing. Everybody's promoting it. I'm trying to hold off on promoting it. I don't know if I got the green light to promote it, so I try to promote it. By the grace of God, the director reached out to me. She said, "Tyrone, we loved your performance. We thank you for everything that you did. Da da da. But due to TV time constraints, we had to delete your scene out of the
Yeah.
movie." So
And
I
that happened.
booked. Listen, I booked two set. Think about it. When you got everything riding on these opportunities, and all they have to do is see you on in a scene with Candace Cameron Bure, DJ Tanner, or
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam. These are legend. These are moments that make people want to sign you. That make people want, because they know that you could do it at a high level. But
Right.
when they cut your scene, yeah, I
Yeah.
got paid. I got the SAG check. Don't get me wrong, but I was crushed, bro. I was crushed.
Hey,
I
but
was
it's still
crushed.
it's
But it was
still
a lesson.
it's a lesson, but it's still a check on your resume, so to speak. And
Absolutely.
then secondly, like you said, it's a lesson. It's a lesson
Absolutely.
to learn and to get used to because these things happen.
Yeah. They happy. So once
Yeah.
those two things happened, I was like, you know what? I gotta go harder. I gotta go even harder. So
Right.
heck yeah, I'm gonna drive 20 hours for an opportunity to make something happen. Heck yeah, I'm gonna wait in the cold, waiting on them to bring us in so they can speak to us about what's going on with Charleston White. Heck yeah, I'm gonna drive back and forth from here to Houston. Man, I got a family, I got a daughter, I got people, I got things that got to get done. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I work, I work, but I want to work with this. My
Right.
passion, what God has showed me is mine, and we're in that phase where you gotta dig deeper. We heard the
Mhm.
stories of people. I had to move. I moved to LA, $100 to my name. I slept on people's couches and did all that stuff. Yeah, I want it, and I almost did it that way. But
Yeah.
I understand that it's timing,
Right.
and if you rush it, you're gonna miss it.
Hmm.
And if you wait too late, you're gonna miss it. So you just gotta keep going at your pace, keep going at your rate. And when you know, you'll know. Because every time I knew that I was gonna book it, I booked it. And even when I felt like I wasn't gonna book it, I booked it. Commercials. I have a commercial right now, and this is another thing people don't. Well, a lot of people do, but understanding about non-union. So I booked the United Healthcare commercial, still airing right now. So a lot of
Hmm.
people have seen it. I play a dad in it, and it's not sad. It's not a sad commercial. National commercial, not sad.
Right.
So each year they'll renew. I get paid the rate that they paid me, but I
Hmm.
don't get any. I don't get any residuals. I don't get
Yeah.
any. I don't get any kickback from that. I get the same rate every year if they want to renew it. They just renewed it two times. They renewed it twice already. Um, but that's part of the game. That's part of the structure of it. So
Yeah.
when it comes to seeing uh my SAG people dealing with what they're dealing with, I definitely understand. Because even on the non-union side, we don't get residuals. We get paid the day rate, then we get paid the fee that's coming in.
Right.
Agency gonna take what they take, and then the rest is if you can book, you got to book as many as you can. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So these are the things that we deal with on our side as well. You know what I'm saying? That other side people had to deal with when they were on their climb up as well. You know what I mean? So those different things is what builds up that confidence. Those different things would build up that tough skin to understand that you have to persevere. Perseverance is everything within this thing, right? It takes 10 years to be an overnight success, right? And that's only
Mm,
because people are being introduced to you. Not that
right.
you ain't been around, and not that people haven't seen you. But when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
And when it's your time, you gotta take advantage.
Yeah, they got to warm up to you, and they got to
Yeah,
get to know you and become familiar with you, become familiar with
absolutely,
your name, your face, what it is that you do, your
absolutely,
your certain if there's a certain type of acting that you do, or if there is
absolutely,
a genre that you stick to, or if you bounce all around, but they just love every character that you play. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, it takes time.
It
We
takes
even
time.
look at Kevin Hart. Look how hard he had to work to get to where he is.
And we seen
Uh,
him in plethora of movies: Paper Soldiers, Soul Plane, uh,
yeah,
um,
I mean,
scary
he,
movies, the
he
scary
almost
movies.
he almost had actor burnout, really, because he was releasing project after project after project after project, and it got to the point to where it it was almost multiples per season each
Hmm.
year, to where you were like, man, I'm tired of seeing Kevin Hart in these previews. Like how many movies is he going to release in a year? And so
Right.
he slowed it down, and he started to pace himself. But he did
Hmm.
that to get himself to a certain level, and to make himself a household name, and to get people.
But see, that's what people have to understand. Like, yeah, you might get burnt out. People get
Mhm.
burnt out or whatever. Can't worry about people getting burnt out. The
Right.
reason why is when they're not saying nothing, that's when you should be worried. When they not speaking on nothing, when they quiet and silent, or they not sharing your stuff, that's when you should be worried. It's just like a
Yeah.
coach. A coach should get on their player because they always make mistakes. But as soon as the coach is like, yeah, all right, cool, or they're not getting on you, then you should be worried. Then you should be
Right.
worried. You're not on their side no more.
Because
You
they
know.
really want to cut you.
So
But
exactly. So there's a lot of times where even now you'll see a lot of people they're doing the independent thing. You see a lot of people posting the Tubi movies and all those different things. And Tubi is a wonderful platform.
yeah.
A lot of it's giving us the opportunity to be seen, it's giving us the opportunity to work the craft and do the things that we want to do. But we're
Mhm.
gonna promote our movies as we should. We're gonna continuously push and do all the things that we should. Sometimes the quality's not gonna be up to par. We ain't got a million to $100 million budget. You know what I'm saying? We're working with what we got. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we're working the craft and we're staying on top of it. So I see sometimes people make comments on a few things, but I try not to, what I'm saying,
Yeah. Tune
engage
it
in
out.
those different things.
Yeah.
But it's just you gotta understand we working with what we got. We working with
Yeah.
what we got. Especially, I'm not in LA. I'm not in Atlanta. I can get there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Dallas. But
Right.
man, we making so much noise in Dallas. Man, we're making such an impact. And people feel it on social media, but they feel it in the city too. They see how we move and they see the structure of what we're getting done. And a lot of times, the only thing that changes with the structure is the money. Because once the money changes, the structure grows, it impacts. It doesn't change up in how the flow is, it just grows. So now you can do more, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about being a producer. I'm thinking about getting with writers and creating concepts and scripts. I'm thinking about other actors that's in this market that are
Mhm.
cold, and doing at a high level as well,
Mhm.
right? We got a group of women that is killing it right now. Shout out to Nikki Dixon, and and she's actually the SAG president for our market, but she's
Okay.
cold. She's
Yeah.
cold, and there's so many other like her, Amber Denise, and so many forth. It's just you'll see you just see how everybody move and how everybody work, and you just get inspired, and you just want to do your part. You want to show up, and you want to kick this shit out the water, and make sure people cannot deny you or deny what you bring in.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to try something a little different, and this is kind
Okay,
of changing pace a little bit. But this is something that I have not done with any other actor. I thought it would be a good idea to try, especially being that I know you. So, this is not our first time talking. It's not our first time
absolutely.
interacting or meeting. So I felt comfortable enough by asking you if this is something that you would be willing to do. I wanted to see if you would be interested in giving me a short monologue, either from one of your films that you've done or something that you've been practicing.
Oh man, I got a monologue that I go to all the time. I really love it, and shout out to the young lady that gave it to me for a show she wanted me to do some years back. So, uh, okay, let's do it. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by certain inalienable rights. Among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, unless you're loud and black and possess an opinion. Then all you get is a bullet that held me at bay, a bullet that could penetrate my skin and take all my dreams away, a bullet that could separate the words I speak to my mother simply because I'm other, a bullet held me captive, gun in my face, your hate misplaced, white skin, light skin, but for me, not the right skin, judging me with no crime committed, reckless, trigger finger, itching to prove your worth, while disproving mine, my life in your hands, my life on the line. Fred Hampton, Rakia Boyd, Tamir Rice, Reggie Green, saved by a piece of paper. A student ID that you had to see to identify me and supposedly set me free. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For some of us, maybe, there's nothing self evident about it.
Yeah, man. And scene.
Yeah, baby. Man, I
Hey, that
really love, even from watching that, I think that was maybe, was that season two? No, 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 no. That was season two. It's like season two, season three. And
yeah,
watching that, you just understand the impact that that character have, just his fight. And
mhm,
I'm just at a party and the cop pulls a gun on me. I'm a college student, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
just seeing what he had to deal with. It's another monologue that's in it, that season, that I'm learning now. I'm definitely gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on tape. I'm put it on tape.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
dig deep in it, and I really get to live with it and everything, like doing things like that. And I'm definitely still like trying to learn other monologues as
Mhm.
well, because that's another form. But I enjoy being in class. I enjoy scene
Of
work. I
course.
enjoy doing those different things. But yeah, that's a monologue. That's one of my favorites that I'm always working. I've been working on that monologue for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years now. And just
Yeah.
continuously growing in it.
Nah, that was dope, man. That's pretty dope. And the reason why I wanted to ask you to include that is because I'm starting to see, that there are people. Obviously, I know there's people watching,
Hmm.
but there's really people watching.
Absolutely, man. You
And
know what's so funny with even in black script,
yeah,
I know the professional pen. I do know her. What's so funny? I read for her maybe 4 years ago. She did a group read. They needed actors. One of my friends was in her class, and he was like, "Can you come read for me for my scene?" And she was actually conducting everything. So definitely know her.
yeah,
My dog, Detwine is my guy. You
yeah.
just interviewed him, one of the actors, but me and him, we're actually on a project together right now that's filming, and
Oh,
we're not in the same scene, but we're in the same project together. Who else? Of course, the ladies from Wicked.
yeah.
Got to meet them, but I've been
Sydney,
following them for years. I've been following them for not a year, a year. I've been following a year since we dropped No Better Love, and it just introduced me to the whole Mega Mind production and all those different things. So it's just so I actually auditioned for them. I've been following. It's another production company out there. Is
Octet
it
Productions.
what is that?
Is it Octet?
Octet. So
Yeah.
what's so funny? The husband is a frat brother of mine. Now I haven't got to meet him yet, but
Wow.
I just been seeing them with Hush and
Yeah.
everything they're doing. Like you got to be in tune to what's going on, and sometimes you just understand these are independent production houses, and they
That's
doing this. They doing it at a major level. They're not
right.
playing no game. It ain't no games being played. And one thing
Right.
about Tressa that I respect and I love about her is she about that bread, dog. She about that. She
That's for
about
sure.
that. She about that dollar, dog. You know what I'm saying? But she a beast, right? And
Oh, for sure.
when you see leadership like that, and then you also see leadership that gives others the space to be themselves and be leaders in their own right in their space and what they're doing. Man, as an actor, you just you champion that, and you want to be a part of those type of different things. So once I get my opportunity, I know it's coming. I ain't gonna rush it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just
Yeah, for
continuously
sure.
be diligent. And I'm gonna just continuously um, do my part, and then
Right.
everything else will figure itself out.
Yeah. No, that's for sure, man. I think, to be honest with you, I think we pretty much covered everything. But what I like to end on is, I give everybody a final word,
Yeah.
whether that's a quote, piece of advice, either that you would like to give the audience or that somebody has given you, that has helped you in your career, or a quote that you live by.
These are the three things. And I've been doing it. I've been saying these in a few different um, interviews, but I've been loving them, and I think I want the message to continuously get through. Number
Hmm.
one is do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. Go to the classes. Get on set. Do the background. You don't want to be all day, but do the background. If this is what you want to do, you're going to fall into some background work, but you're learning. You're networking.
Hmm.
Two, invest, invest, invest. You're gonna have to spend some money. You're gonna have to put that car on the road. You gotta get
Yeah.
into these workshops. You gotta go
Yeah.
follow these different sites. You gotta go do the different thing. You have to invest. You have to invest in your headshots. You have to be investing in your actors access and your casting networks. You have to invest in you, in what it is that you're trying to succeed in.
Hmm.
And lastly, don't give up. Can't give up, right? Because the thing is, me and a friend spoken this before. If you start something, you might make it. You might. Anything can happen. You might make it. But if you quit or you never start, it is 100% chance that you will never make it.
Never. Yeah.
It's undefeated. It's 100% chance you will never make it.
Right.
Can't give up because at the end of the day, um, the things worth having take time. It
Hmm.
takes time to be good, and then it takes even longer to be great. Then it takes even longer to be excellent. But think about this: we have the master, Denzel Washington. He's been
Yeah.
doing this at a high level for years, 30, 40 years. And he's still learning. He's still remaining a student. He's still growing in the craft. His son is even doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
for
and,
sure.
and he's still learning. So you can't give up. You can't give up because there's too much at stake for this. Your legacy is on the line for this. Your legacy, your name is on the line for this. And this is not just pertaining to acting. This is pertaining to life skills.
Yeah.
Giving up is just something that you cannot afford to do.
Hmm.
Can't do it. You can't do it. So it might take long. You're gonna cry. You're gonna ask God why that ain't me. You're gonna go through the crazy moments. You're gonna want to pull your hair out. You're gonna look at things on TV like I could do that, this and the third. You're gonna say things like that. But in those
Right.
moments, that's where you say, "No, God, I'm gonna check myself because I'm wrong." I salute that person.
Yep.
I want them to be in bigger, bigger, bigger things, right? Because at the end of the day, I've never ever heard anybody missing out on blessings by celebrating somebody else's. I've never heard of it.
Right.
I've never seen it, never heard of it, never experienced it.
Right.
So do the work, invest, and never give up.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
one
what I
thing
live
that
by.
one thing in the on the investment part, invest your time. I know you
Woo!
mentioned, the money, putting in
Time.
getting on the road and doing the work and all of that, but time.
Invest your time. Time is something you can't get back. You can't get it back. So when you give it, make sure it's worthwhile. Make sure that you're getting everything you need out of it. And sometimes it's gonna be wasted time. Learn from those moments. Learn from
Yeah.
the moments of your time being wasted. Learn from those things that you come across on the journey. But you gotta see it through. I came too far to quit. I tried to quit, man. I've tried to quit easily, maybe 5, 10 times. But God always put it in
That's
my heart.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's everybody.
God was like, I ain't gonna let you forget about it. It's still there. I want you to do this. But
Yeah.
you gotta do it the way I want you to do it. You can't do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
So soon
When you're looking to quit, and you as you're quitting, things keep popping up that are in front of your face that's telling you, "Hey, here's an opportunity. Here's an
that's it.
opportunity. Here's an
And that's
opportunity." But you
that's
you
exactly what happened.
telling yourself, but I want to give up. I want to quit. This is your sign right here. Don't pass up on those signs that are telling
Absolutely.
you, you know, don't quit.
I
Here's
call
another.
them I call them checkpoints. I call them
Yes.
checkpoints. There's times in my life where I can remember where my career changed, the trajectory changed because of those checkpoints. When I was the top three for Crave magazine model search back in 2011, I just pledged Kappa. As you can see, got my Kappa shirt on. I'm a Quanti Phi. Shout out Georgia Southern. Um, and I wasn't supposed to be in that top three. I
Mhm.
wasn't. I really wasn't. It was another model by the name of MH the model. He was out of Houston. Um, but I read the system. I just started submitting all type of emails. I was on the school ID and I'm putting emails, clicking in just so I can get that opportunity.
Right.
That was in 2000, I was 21 years old. From there, when I booked my first commercial, for it was actually a PSA for Carter Blood Care. That was 2014, 2014, 2015. You know what? That wasn't my first one. It was another one for a bank commercial, but it was roughly around the same time.
Uh-huh.
Every year it increased. This quarter, I had three movies drop. I've done a plethora of interviews. I've been introduced to so many different people. This has been the best year of my career
Yeah.
by far.
I can attest to that. From what I've seen, just in the short span of time that I've known you, you have done way more than I would have ever expected, especially on the independent side.
Mm,
Um, when we initially ran into each other, and we met for the first time, and you were telling me I have several projects that are coming out, and of course, you're talking to everybody, and everybody's telling you the same thing, but the level of the amount of projects and the amount of work that you were producing and that came out after we had that discussion and that I saw and that you were promoting online every single day, and it was like it was like a barrage of content. Whereas some of the other folks that I talk to, it might be one project. You might get a post here, you might get a post there. No, you had post after post after, and everything was different. And I had not seen anybody work at that high of a level to this point. Uh, Specifically on the independent route, and yeah, and to the fact that you are still getting your name out there. You are still grinding. There's still a lot of people who don't know who you are.
nope.
And then on top of that, you drive 20 hours to come to the DMV area to let your presence be known, be seen, be felt, shake everybody's hand, um, let everybody know what it is that you have going on, show them how interested you are in working with them, even whether they were paying you, the time of day or not. You gave everybody the same energy through and through. And like I told you guys, when I met you in person, and I'll tell you again, I commend you guys for that. I don't know of anybody else that's hustling in the actor space quite like you are. Um, and they may be out there, but you are a true test to putting in the work and actually grinding, hustling, living, breathing, you know, um, doing this. And so, at the end of the day, I want to give you the spotlight. I want to give you the platform. I want to give you whatever it is that I can give you to share to the world and let them know, like, this guy is committed. This guy has it going for him, and you're gonna go places. I really
Man,
believe that, and I told you guys that the first time I met you, and I'll tell you that again. I truly believe that you're gonna go places. The amount of work ethic alone that you are putting into this, you're
mm,
definitely gonna go places. But
man,
along with that, the passion that you have and the drive that you have and the willingness to learn and to grow is gonna make it tenfold, a hundredfold, man.
Man, that hit right here, bro. Like I've been wanting this since I was 18 years old, bro. 33, I'll be 34 next year, and it's like I've
But
never felt
it
more.
don't happen overnight.
It don't, and,
Yeah,
and I feel closer than ever, bro. And it all came with you have to be fully committed to this, right? I know a
yeah,
lot of people they're half in, half out. I'ma just do it sometimes. Don't work like that. You got to give it your all, and you got to fight through because you're not just. I don't really see myself in competition, but I do understand that there's other people that's wanting the same thing as me, and
absolutely. Yeah,
you're not just working with people that's in your market. You're working with people that's around the
yeah,
globe, the globe. And you
mhm,
got to stand out. And you stand out by the work. You stand out by the perseverance. You stand out about your message and how you come across to people. And I'm so grateful for that. I received everything that you just said. And
yeah.
I'm excited to show what we got next, man. I'm very young.
Absolutely, man. I know you got a lot in store 2024. I'm sure there's some projects that you can't quite speak on, but uh, to everybody that's watching, keep your eyes and ears peeled because if it's anything like 2023, Tyrone Betters is going to be a name that you're going to know soon enough, for
You better
sure.
believe it. You better believe it. It ain't no question about it. I know we wrapping up now, but just want to let everybody know again. My name is Tyrone Betters. You can follow me on IG at Tyrone Betters, TYRONE BETTERS. In my link, I have my link tree. My link tree is connected to everything. It's connected to my write ups. It's connected to my interviews. It's connected to my movies. You can watch my movies. We have a poster right here for Perk 30. This is streaming on Tubi right now. 2024, top of the year. We have Dirt. I'm starring
Okay.
myself along with Jamal Woolard. That'll be coming out February 6th. We
Mm.
have Code, where I am the main lead on that. We also have Miles Yachts. He's a recording artist that made When I Walk Through Dip. Hey, when I yeah, so he made that. He's gonna be in the building as well on that one. That's coming out in 2024. I'm working on a project right now called Rags to Riches. Shout out to Alexis Monet. We got that. We're gonna start filming on that. And I'm gonna hold off on a couple of other things. We still submitting, still working. Oh, I just got signed in Chicago, so I'm
Yeah, man.
excited about that. So we're gonna
Congratulations.
see what we're gonna see what submissions we get for that, so we can start getting those things. And yeah, man, continuously working. The brand is not done. We're gonna continue to grow. We're gonna be continuously do more events, and hopefully we can get Black Script out here to do some in person
Hey,
interviews with some of the
yeah.
productions that's in the city.
I would love to come, man, and love to touch down and see what everything is like in Dallas, see what the talent is like in Dallas, and also even maybe be a fly on the wall on one of your projects and just see how everything's put together behind the scenes. That is a goal for the Black Script. In the I can't say next year's per se, but
Yeah,
definitely in the foreseeable future is what I want to do is start touching down in some of these areas and get some feet on the ground and actually get some behind the scenes footage. Talk to
absolutely.
people face to face, and kind of make that presence known in person.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, Tyrone Betters, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your knowledge. And thank you for giving your advice and staying true to your craft. I appreciate you being on the Black Script Storytellers. And until next time, everybody, Tyrone Betters.
Thank you.